So I did a little digging to see how the rust in this rocker panel is being caused, and I had a feeling it was a lot of leaves and dirt piling up in this corner and just trapping water like a sponge. So I took the inside front wheel well liner, and this is what I found. That's disgusting. And as you can see, it's definitely starting to eat it from the inside, and it's beginning to show it on the outside. So what I'm going to do is clean this out, hit it with some rust converter, and it should be fine going forward. But let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Jeez. So actually, it's not all the way through yet. So that's good. At least we can stop it, prevent it from going any further. And then if we look up here where the rust was starting on the fender, you can probably attribute that to maybe accident damage, but I can still treat that section from the backside here with rust converter, and it should stop the rust. And coming into the other side with the fender liner removed, we can see we've got basically the exact same situation going on here. So I'm going to clean this out, hit it with some rust treatment, and it'll be good to go. Alright, so the converter has set up. You can tell because the metal is now like black. We'll just finish it by sealing it with some spray paint. This will be a bit of a sad video for anyone interested in the E46 Wagon series. That's because this is the video where the car gets sold. That's right. After about 5 months of ownership, I've decided it's time to part ways with it. I've gotten it to a good mechanical and cosmetic level that I can be proud with the result, but ultimately, it's a car that I just don't need. I've got 3 other cars, and it's hard enough keeping up with 3. You add a 4th one, and then you've really got a full-time job on your hands, keeping everything maintained and operational as I would want them to be. I think this car is in a good state where it can be a good usable vehicle for someone for a very long time to come. It's something somebody can be proud of. I mean, it looks good on the outside, looks really good on the inside. And shoot, I really enjoy driving it. The truth is, I just don't drive that far, that often, and I can't justify keeping it around. Now, I know in the beginning of this series I had some lofty plans, even considering swapping an M3 drivetrain into it, but ultimately, I don't think I've got the energy or the funds to actually follow through on something like that. And let's be honest here, the best form of this car is in a relaxed, easy to drive state, which it currently is in. With an automatic transmission and all-wheel drive, it's a car you can use every day of the year, no matter where you live. Now, I know some of you viewers have actually asked to buy this car once I'm done with it, but ultimately I've decided to do it a local sale just to ease the process for me. It's just easier to sell it locally, have someone come see it in person and know exactly what they're getting. It's a nice car, but it's not perfect. It's still got the rust spots, of course. And I want someone to get their eyes on that and know exactly what they're buying. So I listed this car for $3,200, which I thought was a reasonable price for something that's, you know, still needs some cosmetic work, but is safe to drive and it should be reliable to drive. It's pretty much in line with a lot of other E46s out there. So I think that ought to get it sold pretty decently well. In fact, here's the potential next buyer pulling in right now. Wish me luck. So it is now the next morning, and as obviously can be seen, the car is still sitting here. That's right, the first looker wasn't that serious. He did say he was going to come back today and want to look at it in daylight, look underneath it, which is understandable. But when you're talking about being in the market for cheap cars, you know, cars under $5,000, if you don't have your cash on hand and ready to buy the first time you see it, you're not going to buy it. I say that because since posting this, it's been, you know, probably like 15 hours since I posted this car online. I've had 15 messages that I can't even respond to them all. Just too many people trying to see the car at the same time. So I've got a very interested individual coming in about 10 minutes. He's into BMWs. He's got a couple of his own already, and he really wants to add a wagon to his lineup. So I'm hopeful that this is the one that we can make a deal on. So those wheels, after cleaning them up, they look really nice. This car really did clean up pretty well. Well, the second guy also wants to think about it. It turns out that the all-wheel drive version of the E46 drives quite a bit different than the two-wheel drive one, and he feels like he would really rather have a two-wheel drive one, which is understandable. But I have a third individual lined up to come in about 30 minutes to look at it, who just wants a good car that will be great on the highway. So we'll see if they're the one. All right, so here we are, third time's the charm. I finally found the right buyer for my wagon, and it is Irving over here.
Super excited. Can't wait to get into it.
Yes, this is exciting. It's always great to find another BMW lover to pass it on and for it to be enjoyed. Very happy. I found Irving, Irving found me, and this car is going to a great, great home.
Yes, it is. I love it.
So there we are, everybody. That caps off the E46 Wagon series. Thanks for watching.